And what the Majority Leader Schumer previously described what would happen if the filibuster was eliminated, he called it a doomsday for democracy. That's from the Majority Leader today, to just highlight the point that our leader just made. And he said that getting rid of the filibuster would make, and I quote, "our country a banana republic where if you don't get your way, you change the rules," end quote. That's from Chuck Schumer just a few years ago. And this letter, to which the leader referred, was signed by a majority of the current sitting Democrat senators, basically saying getting rid of the filibuster would be terrible for the country. They came out in hard opposition back in 2017. And at the time, Republicans were under a lot of pressure, I think, as you know, from our former president to get rid of the legislative filibuster. We withstood that pressure because we believe the legislative filibuster is essential not only to the functioning of the Senate, but to the country, because it does provide, as Washington described, that cooling saucer where legislation, things can be cooled down. It gets away from the passions of the moment, creates stability, predictability, moderation, an opportunity for compromise, and where solutions can be found in the center, where you actually have to get Republicans and Democrats working together. It protects minority rights. It is the institution in our democracy that protects minority rights. And what they're talking about doing would create a nuclear fallout unlike anything we've seen. It's called the nuclear option for a reason. That's the reason it's been referred to around here, because everybody realizes what would happen if it ever gets triggered. And they think they can just carve one little thing out and this will all go away. Well, you can't put that genie back in the bottle. When you start getting rid of the legislative filibuster, carve out or otherwise, it's gone. It's a whole new ballgame around here. This would be disastrous for the United States Senate, the institution itself, and it would be disastrous for this country because it would ensure that in the future, every Senate that comes in would reverse what the previous Senate has done, and you would get into this partisan back and forth, which would make the Senate no different than the House of Representatives and undermine the very essence of what the founders intended the Senate to be all about. So I hope that they will, as the leader pointed out, decide and exercise better judgment, which they did just a few years ago when we had the presidency and when we were majority of the Senate, and get back to legislating the way that this place is supposed to work, and that is in a bipartisan way. Get away from this, partisan, scorched earth strategy they have right now of trying to move their agenda in a partisan way and work with Republicans in a constructive way on the issues that are important to the American people.